All right, welcome to Hoops Tonight here at The Volume. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy opening night in the NBA. We've had many long months of hypothetical basketball, theoretical basketball, historical basketball, everything other than meaningful basketball to talk about on the show. And I'm very, very excited to break down a real-life NBA game today. The Denver Nuggets on ring night put forth a championship effort to beat the Los Angeles Lakers. We're going to be breaking that game down from the perspective of both teams. And then later tonight, we're going to have a separate video breaking down Suns Warriors. So come back to the feed later on tonight to get a breakdown of that game as well. You guys know the drill before we get started. We launched a brand new YouTube channel this year. Hoops Tonight is now on its own YouTube channel. It would mean a lot to me if you guys would take a second to just scroll down and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget about our social media feeds as well, wherever you get like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. That's where I'm doing like video content over the course of the year, show announcements, things like that. And then our podcast feed, wherever you get your podcasts under Hoops Tonight. And we're doing mailbags throughout the year at the end of shows this year. So drop mailbag questions in the YouTube comments. All right, let's talk some basketball. So, a lot of people going into this game tonight, we're hoping for essentially the birth of a rivalry between the Nuggets and the Lakers. And there is, the ingredients are there, right? Like you've got big names, superstars on both ends, all-time great players and guys like LeBron James and Nikola Jokic. You have like a win where the Lakers beat the Nuggets in the conference finals convincingly 4-1, where it's the same cores, LeBron and AD versus Jokic, Murray, Michael Porter Jr., but they're not quite in their primes yet, and it's different groups of role players. Fast forward to 2023, the Nuggets sweep the Lakers, but like LeBron's a little out of his prime, and they've swapped out the role players. So like in theory, you look at it, it's like kind of the same cores, 1-1. There might be something here that could be a rivalry, but in order for it to be a rivalry, the Lakers have to get up to the Nuggets level. And right now, they are just not. I look at the Nuggets more as like a measuring stick right now than a rival. It's a status as a basketball team for the Lakers to aspire to. And I mean, you could kind of feel it coming off the screen in this particular game that the Lakers, even though they had a core identity in last year's postseason, they're still kind of figuring stuff out with this new group, especially with some specific role players that they've brought in. In addition to that, just the kind of convoluted nature of their ball handling. They've got so many different guys on the court that could kind of run the show. And like, it's like, who's going to actually grab the reins here and run this thing? It's like, okay, Austin's running 2 or 3 actions in a row. Now D'Lo's running a few actions in a row. Okay, now we're attacking with LeBron out of switches at the high post in a face-up game. Anthony Davis is taking over for long stretches, and like kind of everybody's kind of figuring out where they fit in the offense. That's not the case with the Nuggets. The Nuggets know exactly what they are. They are the quintessential basketball team. Jokic is the offensive fulcrum. He's running everything. Jamal Murray is the primary ball handler. He's initiating the action as the perimeter player every single time down the floor. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is the second side shot creator. If Jamal Murray runs an action and he doesn't get a good look, he's going to swing it over to the other side, and then they're going to run the same damn thing or some other form of dribble handoff with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope to get something going. Michael Porter Jr. not running anything. Like he had occasionally a transition push where he got an offensive rebound put back. He had a handful of plays where he looked to be aggressive, but for the most part, he's just spotting up. And Aaron Gordon's just doing dirty work on the back line, like cutting along the baseline, attacking on the offensive glass, with the occasional switch, posting up. They know exactly where who they are. They know exactly where they fit in terms of the overall roles of the team. They are the quintessential perfect fitting basketball team. It's one of my favorite things about the game of basketball. The Nuggets are a very talented team, but they are not as talented as some of the more talented teams at the top of the league. But you are more than the sum of your parts when you fit naturally as a basketball team. And it goes beyond even just the players. I think Mike Malone does an amazing job getting them to commit to his defensive scheme. Their defensive rotations were sharp tonight. They were super physical at the point of attack. They were frustrating guys like D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves. It was a very, very impressive performance on that end. On the other end of the floor, their sets are sophisticated. It's multiple screening actions flowing into their two-man game, which makes it so that Jamal Murray always has the player trailing several feet behind him, which gets him into a position position where he can either take and make easy pull-up jump shots or draw multiple defenders to open up things for Nikola Jokic. The Denver Nuggets are already a finished product in so many different ways. They are the bar that the Lakers need to get to. And the Lakers, on the other hand, they have some very, very clear weaknesses that they have to work out. Their transition defense is an issue. They still have issues with perimeter size and getting long contested rebounds. They have these clear flaws that they have to work out. The hierarchy of their offense is still kind of convoluted. Over the top shot making, we're going to talk about it in a minute. But like, again, I'm impressed by the Lakers fight. They fought and weathered some runs. And I think they had it within 3 in the fourth quarter, right? But like, here's the deal. Were all the games close in the Western Conference Finals? Yes, they were. But the Nuggets won all 4 of them because when things slow down, they can out-execute the Lakers at a much higher level in those specific situations, and the Lakers have a long way to go to catch up. We'll talk more about the Lakers in a little bit. I wanted to, again, I was really impressed with the Nuggets defense. They were bringing Jokic up high in pick and roll on the, specifically on the D'Angelo Russell pick and rolls, but often on the Austin Reeves pick and rolls as well. They were rotating really sound on the back end. They were being physical with D'Angelo Russell and talking shit to him. That's kind of the strategy they use in the Western Conference Finals. And what do you know? He ended up struggling. We'll end up talking a little bit more about D'Angelo Russell in a minute. Nikola Jokic just dominated Anthony Davis. He just physically cannot guard him one-on-one, which is the wildest thing in the world. I'm not sure that there is a player in the NBA that can even make Jokic really work all that hard one-on-one. I had somebody throw the name Joel Embiid out there, and like, it's hard because you only see him play twice a year. Embiid does kind of have the size to kind of absorb some of those drop steps from Jokic, but even then, it's like if Joel Embiid was the magic elixir for Jokic, he's just not even in the same stratosphere as a defensive player as some of the guys at the top of the league. And so like Jokic just puts you in a real predicament in the sense that you physically cannot match up to him with any individual defender. And then when you combine that in a true two-man game with a guy like Jamal Murray, who is a legitimate weapon in pull-up jump shooting situations, who can make you pay if you duck under picks by knocking down pull-up threes, can make you pay if you trail picks by knocking down pull-up jump shots and floaters, can make you pay with the pass if you bring multiple defenders over, can make you pay on the switch if you put a small defender on him. Like, he just has the perfect complementary game to what Nikola Jokic brings to the table. I thought Jamal Murray looked like an all-star this year. That's the whole kind of storyline surrounding Jamal Murray this year, is can he be the regular season impactful player that he was in the playoffs? I've been saying all summer, hell yeah, he can. The dude got hurt. And last year he was coming back from an injury. The year before that he was out with an injury. The year before that he literally was coming off of an incredibly short layoff out of the playoffs in the bubble, which directly led to some of the physical issues that he had that season. This is his first healthy, normal season as the player that he was in the playoffs last year. I expect him to produce like this all year long. Aaron Gordon looked fantastic. He was beating guys in post-up mismatches, just like he did in the NBA Finals. You just can't switch a smaller guard onto him. He can work his way inside in the post and score on him. Beating him on the offensive glass, cutting along the back line. In transition, he had a bunch of big plays. Aaron Gordon was just awesome. The Denver Nuggets are a well-oiled machine. Their bench had some issues in the second half, but their bench had issues all year last year and ended up just not mattering. And so, like, again, like, we can talk about the hypothetical ceiling that Dame and Giannis can reach. And we can talk about the hypothetical ceiling that Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis can lift the Boston Celtics to. And we can talk about the hypothetical ceiling that Bradley Beal can lift the Phoenix Suns to, or what the Lakers might be able to accomplish over the course of the season. But at the end of the day, the Denver Nuggets are, right now, one of the best teams of the last decade. And they are currently clicking at that level. They are going to click at that level all season long. And as long as they are healthy when they get to April, they're going to just be a royal pain in the ass for anybody to beat. And that's why I picked them as my championship favorite, even among the super talented teams that we have at the top of the league. NBA fans, the wait is over. Basketball is back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is celebrating with an unbeatable offer. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets for throwing down $5 on the NBA. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. You'll start the season with an instant dub. And with DraftKings parlays, everyone's got a shot at an even bigger basketball win. String together multiple bets from the same game or build your parlay across multiple games for a shot at making your payday even sweeter. Basketball's more fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code HOOPS. That's HOOPS. New customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly for betting just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code HOOPS. The crown is yours.
For a limited time, Verizon customers can get Netflix and NFL Plus for just $25 a month. It's called Plus Play. That's $120 in annual savings. Plus Play is a platform where Verizon customers can shop, manage, and save on the subscriptions that you already love, right? Like Netflix and NFL Plus. With NFL Plus Premium, you get access to live games on mobile, my fave, NFL Red Zone, NFL Network, and more. Just go to Verizon.com/plusplay. Verizon.com/plusplay to save on Netflix and NFL Plus today for a limited time only now. Limited time only.
All right, let's talk some Lakers for a few minutes. This matchup is tough for them. They struggle with perimeter size, right? Like you got Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell as guys that are, decent size, like they're 6'4", 6'5", but they're both not fantastic athletes, right? Like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope's a better athlete, Jamal Murray's a better athlete, Michael Porter Jr. has size on either of them in any specific help defense situation, right? Taurean Prince has some of the length, but he's kind of thin, right? And actually, Taurean Prince had some impressive perimeter defense possessions on Jamal Murray today. I thought that was encouraging. Taurean Prince was one of the bright spots for the Lakers in this particular game. But you could tell the Nuggets have a mental advantage as well. They're talking shit. They're getting guys out of rhythm. They're being physical. They are feeling themselves because they know they have the Lakers' number. It kind of reminds me, again, this is not a direct comp because the Nuggets are the defending champions and the Clippers have never won anything. But the Clippers in 2020 kind of had a similar mental advantage over the Lakers, where you can tell they just feel like they're better. And that manifests on the floor in a lot of different ways. Confident. I mean, I know all the analytics guys like to pretend like there's no such thing as the hot hand or confidence or anything along those lines. That stuff is real, in my opinion. And like the psychology of basketball really does matter. And I think the Nuggets have a psychological advantage here. They can attack mismatches in size all over the floor, whether it's Jamal Murray. He didn't do too much post-up attacking in this game, but Aaron Gordon can beat them. Even the Michael Porter Jr. transition basket, it's just because he's bigger than everybody, right? And then Nikola Jokic has the number of the very best defender in the world and the best defender on the Lakers and Anthony Davis. So they're put into a tough spot. You saw their point of attack defense be a problem in this game. Again, point of attack defense is the ability to contain ball handlers on the perimeter and the ability to navigate ball screens to funnel players into your rim protection, right? And like you saw, again, when Taurean Prince was on the floor, it looked okay. But you saw like when Gabe Vincent was guarding him, when D'Angelo Russell was guarding him, Jamal Murray's consistently drawing fouls and consistently getting separation. And that's an issue that's going to manifest over the course of not only the season, but in the postseason if the Lakers don't either get Jared Vanderbilt both healthy and capable of being a threat offensively, or make some sort of deal around the deadline to improve their perimeter defense. Because it's not just teams like the Nuggets. Any team that has high-level guard play and good screeners is going to put the Lakers in rotation a lot. And when they're in rotation, Anthony Davis can't protect the rim. And when Anthony Davis can't protect the rim, they have a pretty big, steep drop-off with their defense. And so, again, that's going to be something to watch with the Lakers all year long, but specifically in this matchup, their ability to defend at the point of attack. And then over-the-top shot making. Again, like LeBron hit a three, Anthony Davis, I think he hit 1 3 in this game. I'd have to look at the box score, but like there wasn't a ton of like high level over the top shot making from the Lakers in this game, just like you would expect after what we saw from them last year. But time and time again, when the Lakers would make a run and get the game back to 5, 7, 4 points, whatever it was, it'd be another Jamal Murray pull up jump shot, another Kentavious Caldwell-Pope curling jump shot coming off of a screen, another Nikola Jokic popping jump shot at the top of the key. They are just an incredibly skilled basketball team. And when things really slow down and they execute, their skill manifests in those half-court possessions. So, like, again, the Lakers are clearly a level below the Nuggets. And that is something they're going to have to resolve over the course of the season. We're going to be monitoring that closely. We're going to look at all the different things that kind of take shape over the year, what deals they might have to make, rotational changes, different lineup structures, and things like that. But at the end of the day, the Nuggets are just better, and it's going to take a little while for the Lakers to get to that point. That doesn't mean doom for the Lakers. They play 82 games. They're going to be more talented than at least 25 of the 30 teams that they play over the course of the season, right? They're going to have opportunities to get through this season and be in a position to attack this Denver team over 2 weeks as opposed to one game. And there were positives, right? Anthony Davis looks great. That's the crazy part. And that's how good Nikola Jokic is. AD was really damn good in this game. And Jokic was just better than him because he is just better than him. But at the end of the day, that's a positive. Anthony Davis looks great. I thought LeBron looked great. They limited his minutes. I think that's a good thing. There's no reason for him to play too much with the amount of talent that's on this team. It allows LeBron to be, I noticed it in particular, like LeBron has a tendency to float through games. He'll play 36, 37 minutes, but he'll take these long stretches where he's kind of disengaged. LeBron was more engaged in his minutes because he was playing shorter shifts. And like the Lakers were a big positive when LeBron was on the floor in this game. I think that's encouraging, right? And you saw him be able to attack from the high post, attack in transition as a just a downhill threat, right? Like making solid reads when the Nuggets would offer nail help, kicking to shooters. I thought LeBron looked great in this game. I think that's a positive, right? I did think it was interesting that the Lakers kind of took off in the second half when LeBron started being more aggressive offensively. It's something to keep in mind. We were talking about the hierarchy of the ball handling for the Nuggets and how clear it is. I'd like the Lakers to do the same thing, to simplify their ball handling structure and lean more on one guy, try to get one of Austin or D'Lo to operate primarily as an off-ball player, and just kind of simplify that decision-making process, right? So D'Angelo Russell looked fantastic all preseason and then looked pretty bad in this particular game, right? Had some spot-up threes that he knocked down. He made some plays, but definitely wasn't as impactful as he was in the preseason. Why is that? Time and time again, when the intensity ratchets up and the physicality ratchets up, that's when D'Angelo Russell struggles to finish around the rim, struggles to get separation in pick and roll, struggles to make passes out of pick and roll. And again, there's value in D'Angelo Russell. Kind of reminds me of James Harden. He can eat regular season innings, and he can provide basically a mediocre offensive fulcrum when you need it, right? But in intense games, and again, this is season opener. This is not the same as a game in February. This game had a playoff feel in terms of the overall physicality. In those environments, he's going to go down a level. And that's something to keep an eye on over the course of the season because the Lakers do have the ability to slot Gabe Vincent and Austin Reeves in the backcourt. They have three forwards. They can afford to get rid of one, right? You saw Rui Hachimura look kind of like the odd man out tonight, right? So like you could see a scenario, and again, I'm not saying you do this now, but if 50 games from now, if you're in February and D'Lo's still kind of struggling in the big games and Rui Hachimura is still struggling to find his role off the bench, that's two pieces you can package together with 2 first-round draft picks, and you can bring back a $30 million player, a good $30 million player. And that could potentially be a ceiling raiser for this team. But again, like as good as D'Angelo Russell is, and he's going to have a lot of great nights, and he's going to have a lot of great sequences, time and time again, when the physicality ratchets up in these bigger matchups against the better teams at the top of the league, he tends to struggle a little bit. I thought the second half bench unit, end of the third quarter, early fourth looked good. There was a lot of LeBron James and Christian Wood matchup attacking against smaller defenders, either at the high post and out of the post. I thought that was an interesting thing that you can see the Lakers do more over the course of the season. You saw D'Angelo Russell kind of operate, making those post entries and then basically just spotting up on the wing. And LeBron's really good at punishing the nail help there with just quick passes into the shooting pocket. So I thought that was encouraging because the bench units kind of struggled during the regular season. And again, in the big picture, not every team is Denver. Like this is a really good team on the road, championship ring night. It's a hard game to win. It doesn't spell doom for the season, but it's the measuring stick. It's the level they have to get to over the course of the 82. All right, guys, that is all I have for this portion of the show. We're going to be back later tonight breaking down Warriors Suns. As always, I appreciate you, and I'll see you in a little bit.